Hey there, I'm Rita Bearcat, and this is my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I am super excited to show you a work of art that I have in process. I already did the face, so that was the first thing, and now I'm kind of working on the hair. I am using a pencil. I like drawing things by hand. I like the feel of paper and doing that, so I went ahead and did this on paper. I know a lot of people do digital now, and I do digital sometimes, but I still love the feel of paper. So right now what I'm doing is putting in my shadows. So I'm using blues, like a dark, like a denim kind of color blue, just to put my shadows in certain areas. That way I know when I hit it with the flesh color tones that I will still have nice shadows in certain areas. Sometimes I go in and put some drawing gum to leave the areas white. On this particular piece I didn't. I wasn't sure where I was going to have the light, but I didn't know where I was going to have the shadows. So a lot of times I am just going off the top of my head, so I can't always plan for things. Or I can plan for them, and then sometimes it changes in the middle of the process anyways. So blue is a good one to put underneath the skin tones, giving you lots of variation in your skin tone, and then it doesn't look flat. I also put some blue in her lips just because I knew that I wanted to do a magenta type of lip, and I wanted to have those blue undertones. Now when I'm doing the eyes, I'm using a very thin paintbrush, and it's also a little bit longer than my regular paintbrushes. And when I do this, I'm doing several layers of colors. I never just do one color on the eyes. It just gives it, I don't know, a warmer feel to it versus just a flat color. Now, of course, if something is really, really tiny, it could be hard to do that, but that's why I like to make my faces bigger, so that way I can really give attention to those details on the lips and in the eyes. And I do try to leave like a lighter space on the lip, and I didn't do that there. I covered it up, so I will have to add it later. So hopefully you can see enough of this to see what I am doing, and always have a paper towel handy when you are painting. That way you can pick up any water spots or anything else that happens in between. Flesh tones are tricky sometimes just to get it right and get the shading, and you have to use more than one color. Getting one color is going to make, when you use just one color, you're going to make your painting look flat. And using some variations, and that's why I have the blue undertones for some of the shading, but then I'm using some browns and some oranges to add just a little bit more color to her face and give her some warmth. And you just have to play with it, move it around a little bit until you feel like it's right. To me, I'm also looking for consistency in the painting because watercolor can be very inconsistent, but I'm looking for, you know, beautiful skin tone so that she doesn't look odd or you don't see patches or anything like that. Now, if you're using acrylics, it's the same kind of thing. You want to use more than one color, and you have to actually create the color on top versus having something underneath, because most acrylics do cover up a lot, especially with your flesh tones, because flesh tone has the white in it, and so it's going to cover up the areas below. So you would have to layer just in a different way. I'm erasing any pencil marks that I have in the whites of the eyes before I go in and paint it. Now, one of the things that I really liked about this particular drawing was her raised eyebrow, and if you know me in person, I will do that a lot. I don't know why, I just do. And it's really funny because, I don't know, we all do it in our family, and so it's just kind of a very typical look that you will get, that raised eyebrow, like, what are you talking about? So that was fun to play with on this piece of art. And as you can see, I did put some blue in there for her eyes, and then adding the white, and it's really a play. It's a back and forth, trying different things and trying to make it work so that it's not totally noticeable, but that it's not some weird flat just white for the whites of the eyes. And it just does make it look better than if I just were to paint it all white or leave it all white. Now, one of the things that I get asked a lot is about, you know, the eyes and having them be exactly the same size. I do try to get them really close, but I don't worry about if they're perfect, because if you really look at people, they're not perfect. And that's how we get that look that's very fake and plasticky, is when, you know, everything looks perfect on the face. And most people's faces are not perfect. And so I think it's okay to draw or paint something where the eyes are not perfectly aligned or the eyebrows are not perfectly aligned, because really most people are not. And so that's okay. So today I was deciding to go with teals and greens and a little bit of blue. But mostly because I was trying to get that teal look on the hair. And again, with hair, having different colors, even if it's the same color family, but having different tones, it just really makes a difference with the hair not looking flat. Now, because I'm using watercolor, I have to flip back and forth I'm making sure that I'm not painting something right next to something else that's just painted and still wet, because if it's still wet and you paint right next to it, it's all going to bleed together, and that's not what I want. I want to see the different wavy hair that she has. I want it to show, and so in order to do that, I kind of have to go back and forth. So I'm really just playing with the colors. I'm using 2 colors. I'm using a blue and a green and mixing them together as I go. One, so that there's different shades of the colors on her. And 2, so that we get that wavy look by adding those colors next to each other, but having them not blend and having them not be exactly the same color. So now I'm just going in with any details, like doing hairs, little tiny lines for the eyebrows, so that it doesn't just look like color on there. And I will go in and do the eyelashes, and I did end up adding little white dots all over, and I thought I had recorded it and didn't. It was off, so that part's not in there, but I did do little white dots all in her hair. Just kind of made her pop a little bit more, make her look like a superstar. Just the silly things that I do, but adding some eyelashes. And so when you're doing eyelashes, make sure that those lashes are a little bit curvy. Don't draw them with straight lines. That usually looks very odd. And a lot of people, when they're beginning, they just draw these straight lines, but really our eyelashes are not straight. They're a little bit curved, even naturally. And you may have a straight hair somewhere, but it looks really odd when you're doing that on a painting or drawing. So make sure you curve those eyelashes. Give her some on the bottom too, so she's not naked. And here she is. I hope that you like this video and you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.